I thought we had a good bye week. We came in and practiced hard last week. Really what we do on those practices are we spend half the time going back to camp drills and working hard against each other, then the other half of the practice against Duke, so we get ahead in our preparation there. Did give the players a couple days off over the weekend, and then came back last night and had meetings and had a practice last night. We'll go out today, and this will be our normal Tuesday practice. So overall, I feel good about the way they handled the bye week. I thought we did a good job getting our work done in the classroom, and I think it was a good time to get some guys back and hopefully ready for Friday night to be healthy and ready to go. We're looking forward to the game Friday night. Seems like a long time since we've played here in our stadium, so it'd be great to be back home. When you watch Duke on video, they're a good football team. They play good defense. They're very disciplined. They're very well coached. They run hard to the ball. Offensively, they have a young quarterback. They have some big wide receivers and an offensive line that does a good job, understands what they're trying to do. So we're going to have to, do a good job, come out and play our game and play the game of football the way we have the first five. But that'll all depend on our preparation here this week in practice. Questions?
If you've got to have a bye week, was that a good spot for it, or as good a spot as any?
Well, you're going to have a bye week, but I thought it fit in pretty good with our schedule, and it was a very intense 5 weeks, 2 real big games, so it was good to take a little breath and get a little rest, and then come back and get focused in for the stretch.
Which when you talked about going back and doing some basics, how good is that at this point, because you're 5 weeks in, to get them a refresher course of some of the fundamentals that you guys taught during the fall?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's really good to go back to some of the drills that we do. It's good for our players that are playing in the games. It's really good for the young guys to get extra work and reps that'll help us down the road. It's always a long season, so you have to keep bringing those guys along and developing them. It's good to go back and go goods versus goods because it's very fast, physical look. So I think that helps you too.
The way things have played out to this point, we're starting to see some undefeated teams lose, like Miami, and with the things in the ACC the way they're. How do you see your team right now, the overall picture for you? And it looks like Clemson, obviously, they're leading the thing right now. Kind of talk about that and what for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of things happen. That's the game of football. So what you have to do is play 1 week at a time. We still believe in our heart that our goals are sitting out there for us, and we have a chance to go get it. But to do that, we have to line up and win this game this week, and really focus on doing that. Otherwise, it means nothing. So we understand we have zero room for error. We've got to take care of our business week in and week out, and then maybe we'll still have that opportunity. We're not guaranteed anything, but you do know that a lot of things change, and there's upsets happen all the time. So all we have to make sure is that we take care of our business.
Along those lines, do you think Houston losing hurt you?
Never even thought about it. I think that's one of those things you don't worry about. You just worry about taking care of your own business and winning your games.
What do you find out about your team when you lose a game?
I think you always learn a lot. You always learn about how we're going to handle it, how we're going to bounce back. That's one of our themes, is to bounce back and come back and prepare the way we prepared for the other games. And if we do that, if we go about our business in the meeting room, if we practice with the intensity and focus that we have been, then I think we'll continue to play well and execute and win games.
Just from your experience here previously at Arkansas, just from the team you watched over the years, how difficult is it to go undefeated during a year? I mean, there's still 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9 left at this point.
Yeah, I think it's really hard. I think you see that every year, that it's a long season. There's a lot of things that can happen. When you're on the top of it, people really do, play their best, and you get everyone's best game. So there's probably going to be more teams upset, guys that, end up with one loss here, one loss there. There's some big matchups that are going to come out throughout the year. So we have a long way to go. We're not even halfway there yet. So we got a lot of work to do.
What do you think about the schedule worked out that you did have, sort of these huge games so early in the season? Now you have this really long stretch of the game every single week.
Yeah, now that it's behind me, I didn't like it, but I understand it. That's I think part of it was our conference wanted to have some marquee matchups early in the year. With some of the other conferences have some big marquee matchups late in the year. So we're trying to balance budgets probably. That's how I see it. I'll just say it that way.
What do you think of the decision of the ADs to keep it 8 games less?
I like that. Yeah, I like that. I think that, with our having the rivalry game, that's a good, works out favorably for us, And I think for the ACC, for the entire conference, because there's Notre Dame out there that, plays some of our teams every year and takes our bowl games, that, to have anything but that could give you one year where you're playing, way too many teams. So I think it's a good decision for what we have in the ACC right now because of Notre Dame and the part that they play.
Could you spend your off Saturday watching more games, and how much do you get watching games on TV versus watching games?
Well, I watched a little bit. I came up here and worked out, and then I watched all of our practice from last week. Then I went home and relaxed a little bit. And then I watched one full game. I flicked the channel back a little bit and, saw the mud and the slush in the Notre Dame game, North Carolina State game, thinking about, God, I'm glad I'm not coaching in that game right now. I honestly did say that to myself, guys shivering and, brought back some memories. But then I watched Idaho, the full game of Idaho, and they got a big win. They did a great job, took the ball, went and scored at the end of the game. So that was good to see my little brother's team win.
Do you watch it with an analyst's eye, like you would game tape, or not really?
When I watch Paul's games?
Well, any game you're watching.
Yeah, usually you do. You're trying to see the defense and trying to see what's going on out there. So, yeah, I probably do. But when I watch my brother, I'm real critical. That's the advantage of being a fan, right? You got all the answers.
Do you go communicate after games like that?
Yeah, usually I'll call him up and yell at him a little bit. No, I'm kidding. I really am kidding. We do communicate, and I send him a message after the game. Great win, great drive. Shouldn't have made it that hard. They made it hard on themselves. They could have finished it a couple times earlier. But so we do, short communications like that, but nothing more than that.
It's the point of the year when some coaches, Jim Harbaugh most recently, start promoting their guy for the Heisman Trophy. Do you feel you have to be more outspoken maybe for Lamar?
I really don't know that. I don't think so. I think that Lamar has set the bar very high. With the way he's performed, with the numbers that he's put up, and how exciting of a football player that he is, and the style of football that he's played. I think he set the bar very high for everybody else. So, maybe I do need to start promoting him. I'm not really sure. I've never really been associated with this before. I kind of feel like that you let their body of work speak for itself, and but that doesn't mean I'm right.
Have you seen another player who impressed you as much?
No,
What were your main takeaways from the games you watched?
Yeah, I think I feel like we blew an opportunity. I felt like offensively, we didn't start out very well early. We were distracted and lost our poise a little bit, and got caught up in pregame hype and just didn't execute. I thought we played really well early defense, and then second quarter defensively we gave up some big plays, and the last 2-minute drive really hurt us. And then in the second half, I thought we came out and really executed well and, played together as a team. And then they had the kickoff return killed us because it made it gave them enough time to come back. I did feel like when we got the ball at the end of the game, we'd take it and go score and win the game. Unfortunately, we didn't get it done.
What's your perspective on James Quick's play at the end?
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I called him in and talked to him. I said, I wish you would have got the first down or the touchdown, and it didn't happen. But the people that are going to criticize you or me or whoever else for throwing the ball, catch and run, because that's what we had to do with the look they were in. That was the only option that we had. They're the people that don't know victory or defeat, so don't worry about it. And just know that I love you, and you'll come back and get another opportunity to make the play again, and just compete as hard as you possibly can and do it.
Do you have any issue with his effort on that play?
I don't really know his effort on that play because he caught the ball. He had some room to make a move, and I'm not sure. I don't think it was an effort thing. I'm not sure that he knew exactly where he needed to go.
Were you satisfied with the way the marker was placed and all that kind of stuff?
No, I wasn't. I don't think that it should be marked one place when they have the ball and one place when we have the ball.
Any feedback from the ACC?
No, none. We got anything fun to talk about?
Coach, Friday nights here have typically been, the crowds have been pretty wild for the Blackout. I mean, the night games are Thursdays and Fridays. This program back when you were before kind of built on those games. How much fun are they for you still? It's different than Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's great. The night environment and the crowd and the excitement for our players. It's always gives you a huge advantage to play at home and play under the lights and play with our crowd. So we just got to hopefully come out and have the same type of atmosphere that we had for the Florida State game. And then it's up to us to come out and perform and make plays and play the way that we're capable of playing. Because I think that really helps you in recruiting is when you play well on national TV during the week. A lot of the players are watching it.
How much of an advantage do you have knowing Duke has a very short week and you're coming off the bye? Does that make a huge difference?
Yeah, it's not that big of that short of a week when you play on a Friday night. So hopefully it helps us. I'll take it if it helps us.
You mentioned recruiting. Have you seen a bump in interest in things since the beginning of the season?
It seems to be going well. I know our assistant coaches and been doing a great job in the communication. That was another thing that was a bonus for us last week is our assistants got out on the road. We're in schools and at games Thursday and Friday last week. So I think that helps us and is a good time for us to be on the road and recruiting.
The early signing date is approved. How does that change the way you go about your business?
Yeah, we'll have to really study it and look at it. This is like a weird time for us because when that legislation comes across my desk, I kind of look at it and put it aside and say, okay, let's get ready for practice and let's get ready, So if that does happen, then, we're going to have to spend some time, really study it, make a game plan. I'm certainly hoping that it doesn't approve. I've always been against an early signing. I think it's very hypocritical. When we're responsible as coaches to go out and know the players that we're bringing in and get to know them and spend time with them before we sign them. Now you're asking us that you don't give us the time to get to know them. I think it's pushed by people that are in an area where most of their recruits are within a radius where they're on their campus all the time. They're coming and going to games. Here at the University of Louisville, we have to leave our borders to go get our players. In the last 2 years, 1 year we signed guys from 11 different states, last year from 10 different states. Now we have to work. We have to get out and meet everybody and see everybody and spend every last minute we have before the signing date. So I'm totally against it. I've always been that way. I think what you're doing is trying to give the guys that really want to work hard a disadvantage and geographically give guys an advantage.
Have you suffered much poaching the last week?
Yeah, sometimes that happens, and that's just the nature of the business. That, there is a reason that those players get 5 visits, and what I tell them is you earned it, by your academics and by the way you played it. You get to go pick what school you want, So why are people trying to get an early signing date so they don't have to work as hard? Sorry, it's my opinion.
Anything else?
All right, guys, thanks.